President Ilham Aliyev chaired a meeting of energy ministers in Baku. Azerbaijan against military forms of solving conflicts, said official of the presidential administration of Azerbaijan in his interview with Financial Times. Armenian lobbies propaganda of so-called genocide to be futile, says Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan.
The first meeting of the Advisory Council of the Southern Gas Corridor has kicked off in Baku. Meeting attended by Azerbaijan President Ilham Aliyev, delegations led by the ministers of participant countries of the Southern Gas Corridor, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Georgia, Greece, Albania, Italy, Bulgaria. Vice President of European Commission for Energy Maros Shevkovich, representatives of IFC, EBRD, SOCAR, BP Azerbaijan, TANAP, TAP, and other international organizations. Concrete recommendations on implementation, management, and current situation of the Southern Gas Corridor are expected to be made at the event. The President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, put forward an initiative to hold a meeting in Baku.
Azerbaijan President Ilham Aliyev received a delegation led by Special Envoy and Coordinator for International Energy Affairs at the United States Department of State, Amos Hochstein. Party expressed satisfaction with the development of bilateral relations between Azerbaijan and the U.S. and stressed that there is a good potential for the implementation of projects in energy, transport and others. They exchanged views on the expansion of cooperation in this direction. President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev has also received Panayotis Lafazanis, Minister of Productive Reconstruction, Environment and Energy of Greece. Parties discussed current level of relations and perspectives of future development between two countries.
A meeting on the results of large-scale exercises has been held with the participation of Defense Minister Colonel General Zakir Hasanov, leadership of the Ministry and Armed Forces, as well as commanders and chiefs of staffs of units and formations, including the officers involved in drills. Speaking at the meeting, the Minister of Defense set a high value on military battle readiness and efficiency of military personnel, stressed the importance of such drills and gave relevant instructions to commanders and line officers.
Azerbaijan is against military forms of solving conflicts. The head of the Public and Political Issues Department of Azerbaijan Presidential Administration, Ali Hasanov, said in his interview with the Financial Times, "We believe that in the present world there are more powerful tools for solving conflicts than military ones," said the top official. Mr. Hasanov blamed a recent spate of violent incidents between Armenian and Azerbaijan forces on internal forces in Armenia who are trying to strengthen their positions. He suggested that the U.S. and its allies should take action to eject Armenia from international bodies, such as the Council of Europe and the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Mr. Hasanov said the Azerbaijani government was confident it could ride out the effect of sharply falling oil prices on its budget and development plans, partly because it was introducing new taxes on bank deposits, property sales, and luxury items such as imported cars. He stressed that no new taxes would be imposed on the private non-oil sector of the economy because the government understood the importance of letting these sectors thrive. He ruled out an abrupt devaluation of the manat, Azerbaijan's currency, but said the government was considering a managed downward adjustment in line with the euro, which has been falling against the dollar.
Scientists and historians of Azerbaijan studying genocides committed against the Azerbaijani people conduct massive work on aggression of Armenians against Azerbaijanis and Turks. and informing the world community about Armenian crimes, occupation policy of Yerevan with regard to Azerbaijan. Next book of this series was presented in Baku by the Institute of Human Rights of the Academy of Sciences of Azerbaijan. Book named The Psychology of Armenians is written by Eldeniz Ergun, describing Armenians as non-free, managed by the outside powers, who still serve as tools in hands of strangers, thus conducting occupation policy and ill-treated policy against neighboring countries. Originally printed in the Azerbaijani, the book will be further translated and printed in Turkish, Russian and in English. Author of the book, Eldeniz Ergun, was born and grew up in Armenia. He became a refugee, one of the 250,000 of Azerbaijanis who left Armenia as a result of the ethnic cleansing policy led by the Armenian leadership against Azerbaijanis started at the end of the 80s of the last century. Therefore, he is the one who knows Armenian psychology, and it is not by somebody's stories.
Erməni psixologiyası bu günə qədər bu şəkildə araşdırılıb işlənməmişdi.
So far, there has been no book printed about Armenian psychology. This topic is not studied well. We divided the book on men and women, elders, determined what types of psychology their people belong. We studied the influence of the neurolinguistic program to the psychology. Under such influence, people forget their genetic links and act through habits. Today, Armenians are annoyed, losing their belief and self-confidence. They live in an environment which irritates them. One of the most known ideologies of the Armenian fascism, Garegin Nizhdeh, was describing in his books how to use all Armenians for the benefit of the Armenian nationalism, said Rizvan Huseynov, collaborator of the Institute of Human Rights. Talking on the topic, Rizvan Huseynov has said that Armenian authorities' way of thinking and current behavior is based on Nizhdeh's technologies. Nizhdeh was dividing people into various classifications, and for each of them was selecting special mechanism how to pressure each person by frightening, misleading, lying, giving money, etc. That is a true psychology of all Armenians.
Armenian people continue to live with a wild idea of Great Armenia from sea to sea. In Yerevan, they strive to achieve this goal via falsification of history, either forging historical materials and ancient maps that prove the existence of so-called Armenian state. However, there are facts proving that Armenians have historically never even lived in the southern Caucasus. This falsified history keeps haunting Armenians' minds, and therefore Armenian people have territorial claims against Azerbaijan using forged documents. However, it's scientifically proved that Armenians have never had a state in the Caucasus. These maps drawn by Venetian cartographers reveal the false allegations of Armenian historians. It's clear from the maps that Tigranakert, the capital city of Armenia, was not located in South Caucasus, but Yerevan denies this fact, alleging that Armenians were located exactly in this very region. The map attributed to the 4th century BC was printed in 1825. Historical documents read that in an effort to defend the Christian population, Tsarist Russia offered the southern Caucasus to Armenians and later on established Armenian province within Azerbaijani lands. Anas of Azerbaijan issued a national atlas containing information on refugees, IDPs and occupied territories of Azerbaijan, including ethnic cleansing committed by Armenians as a result of Armenian-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict starting in 1988. In addition to this, there was printed a map of the Southern Caucasus dated 1903 and sent to international organizations and well-known libraries. The map provides additional means for publicly unveil the false allegations of Armenians. The printed map was based on another map compiled by the Tsarist Russia. Thus, it was scientifically proved that the toponyms within the territory of the present-day Armenia have Azerbaijani roots.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan called on Armenia to examine the 1915 events through the lens of science and not politics. Let us remove the 1915 events from the area of politics and refer to science and scientists, Erdogan said during a symposium on the topic co-organized by the Bogota Externado University and Ankara University. Erdogan attended the event as part of his official visit to Colombia Tuesday and said that what the Armenians did against the Turks and what the Turks did against the Armenians 100 years ago was not properly discussed. We have made an effort to fix relations with Armenia and to open a new page. The Turkish president said, "Unfortunately, our peace hand has always been rejected by the influence of Armenian diaspora. The 1915 events took place during World War I, when a portion of the Armenian population living in the Ottoman Empire sided with the invading Russians and revolted against the empire. The uprisings came about after a decision by the empire to relocate Armenians in eastern Anatolia. Armenia and Armenian diaspora termed the events as genocide and asked for compensation, whereas Turkey officially refutes this description, saying that all the Armenians died during relocations. Many Turks also lost their lives in attacks carried out by Armenian gangs in Anatolia. We will not give up in our efforts for peace and dialogue with respect to the 1915 events," Erdogan underscored. Gold remains as one of the brighter spots in the commodities market today, given the instability in the global oil market and slowing economic forecasts of the international financial institutions. In view of the rising challenges, energy-rich Azerbaijan seeks to develop its export opportunities and bring to market new products, and here gold can be another real good for export. Gold reserves have doubled in Azerbaijan due to deposits found in recent years. In the past 10 years, 192 deposits of various profiles were discovered in 25 regions of the country. The rise is observed not only in the number of deposits but also in the production of these precious metal in the country. The whole year production of Anglo-Asian Mining, a company extracting precious metals in resource-rich Azerbaijan, was 60,000 ounces of gold, which is 16% more than in 2013, when 52,000 ounces were produced. But despite this, the development of gold mining and expansion of export capacity required certain reforms that were also noted by the authorities. President Ilham Aliyev signed an order on February 11th on establishment of new state company Azergold. The company will engage in research, exploration, development, and management of precious metals, introduction of new technologies in this field, modernization of material technical base and their efficient use, as well as other works for the development in this sphere. The economic and industrial bodies have been tasked to develop the strategy of Azergold. The establishment of Azergold is expected to further intensify the state's efforts in increasing the industrial development of the republic and its export capacity. The U.S. State Department supports all the work countries in Central Asia and the Caucasus are doing to diversify trade routes across the Caspian Sea through Turkey and into Europe, Richard Hoagland, the U.S. Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary, said. He made the remarks during a roundtable on East-West Transport Corridor for Trade and Economic Cooperation held in the Embassy of Azerbaijan to the U.S., the U.S. State Department said. But to expand the region's potential as a trade corridor, countries in the region must work together to limit border delays and reduce transportation costs, Hoagland said. We see the construction and expansion of port facilities in Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan mirrored across the Caspian Sea in Azerbaijan. New rail lines linking Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan have come at the same time as the development of the Baku-Tbilisi Coast Railway. The BTK railway is planned to be commissioned in 2015. The peak capacity of the corridor will be 70 million metric tons of cargo per year. This figure will be at the level of 1 million passengers and 6.5 million metric tons of cargo at the initial stage. Touching upon the role of Russia, Hoagland said that it will continue to be a major economic force in the region. The expansion of the Eurasian Economic Union shouldn't come at the expense of the ability of countries in the region to fulfill their existing international commitments, he said. The United States will continue to support efforts for greater regional economic connectivity, said Hoagland. Today's focus on Central Asia's links to the Caspian, the Caucasus, Turkey, Europe, and beyond is important for not only the United States, but more importantly, for the future of the countries in the region, he underscored. Gazprom, Russia's state-owned gas company, will continue to purchase gas from Azerbaijan. The purchase of gas will be carried out in accordance with the previous agreements and the contract in force, Gazprom said. Earlier, Alexander Medvedev, deputy chairman of the company, said Gazprom plans to reduce the volume of gas purchases from Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan by nearly 10 billion cubic meters and replace these volumes with its own gas in 2015. Gazprom, thanks to investments to the mining complex and the transport sector, requires no purchase of gas from abroad, regardless the source. Gazprom has enough resources to meet the needs of the market of any region of the Russian Federation, as well as to ensure supplies of gas to our customers both in Europe and in the future in Asia, Medvedev said. Also, Gazprom acknowledged that in 2014 it significantly reduced gas exports, noting that the total gas exports in all directions in 2014 stood at 147.2 billion cubic meters. In 2013, this figure was 217.7 billion cubic meters. Azerbaijan's gas is supplied to Russia under gas purchase and sale contracts signed by Azerbaijan's state energy giant SOCAR and Gazprom in Baku on October 14, 2009. The contract makes it possible to suspend and resume gas supplies at any time. Gazprom is the largest producer of natural gas in the world and the major Russian company. Its major business lines are geological exploration, production, transportation, storage, processing, and marketing of hydrocarbons, as well as generation and marketing of heat and electric power. The Russian government has a controlling stake in the company.